Hello guys, how are we? I have on an amazing guest here, one of my good friends, Dazza, Aaron, as everyone else will probably know him as. And today on the podcast, we are going to be unpacking how Dazza's done over the last few years, how he's leveled up, how he's progressed. And really, the reason why I want to get Dazza on and share his success story is over the last few years, there's been a massive shift. So there has in Dazza. When I went to school with him, it was always like I could never do this. He'd maybe do something for 2 weeks. He'd have fucking a million bottles of Coke and sweets and things like that. And now as we're sitting recording this, he's the exact opposite. He's absolutely peeled, he's strong, he's fit, and as well as that, he's managing multiple different avenues with work, he's enjoying himself. And there's a lot that we can all learn from what he's done. There's a lot that we can learn from the shifts that he's had to make mentally, from the hacks that he's put in place in his day, and even the mindset. Like sometimes there was a time a few weeks ago where Dad was like, "Yeah, I go home on Saturday night and I just work right through the night," and so I did. And I was like, "Geez, okay, someone wants this. Someone's committed." So even just hearing some of these examples and some of these stories I know will leave you, like even that example is like, shit, I'm not working hard. So it'll leave you wanting to go and do more. So that's it. I suppose like to give the guys a bit of context, give the guys a little, tell the guys a little bit about yourself, like what you do, when you joined the academy, where you're at now. Just, yeah, give us a little bit of background.
Yeah, sure. So I joined the academy about 6, 7 months ago. I'm a chartered accountant, 28 years of age, got married there in July. I would say right now, probably in the best shape of my life, strongest I've ever been, lean as well. And that's just off the back of coming home from honeymoon as well. So still in that shape, which is good, which is great. Terms of work, I work for a global like education and learning company in their finance department. But on top of that, I also started my own accountancy practice there 2 years ago. It's called Everest Accountants and Financial Consultants, me and my business partner. And basically, we thought there was a big gap in the market for a proactive, sort of forward thinking accountancy practice that we work with our clients weekly and monthly, looking at sales and costs and how to get the cost down, improve the profit, and sort of look at initiatives to get the tax down. So at the end of the year, then our clients, they pay less tax, they're happy, we're happy, it's a win-win. Whereas your traditional accountants maybe, reactive rather than proactive, where they'll wait until the problem's happened. It's too late to fix it now. And therefore, they just do the accounts and the tax return, they tell the client their taxes and hit them with the big bills. So we want to be as far away from that as possible and be proactive and give advice, because that's what it is these days. So we set that up and it's going really well. Really, really well. So there's clients coming on now and they're sort of getting what we're doing now. So they're coming on sort of clients come on every week and it's going really well. And then on top of that,
On to
we
2 secs. So what's the company called?
Everest Accountants and Financial Consultants.
Where can any business owner find your website or socials, or how do they follow you up for that?
So we've Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, where you've got a website which is really detailed. It's got loads of calculators on there, loads of detailed information. So it's really good. And then you can pop us a message through the website, or you can send us an email through info@everestaccountants.com.
Okay,
Um,
anyone listening to this is a small business owner and knows one, go and hit Dazza up, go and hit Everest Accounting. I don't work with Everest Accounting, but I can tell you that there'll be a high level of detail and attention just knowing Aaron's character. Okay, so sorry, pitch over and let's get back to your training and things. Okay, so when before you came on to the academy a few years ago, because you came on initially 3 years ago, and we've done great
yeah.
work. And then you came back on the recently, but it was more from I'm at a good place. I want to go to an exceptional place. Okay, that was like the last project. It was like, right, I just want to know that every single thing is dialed in. And I was like, right, this is, if you want to absolutely maximize it, this is how we're going to do it. And I put you through the mill. So just give the guys a little bit of how was that? How was the first process? Where were you at the start? And then what was this process like this time?
Yeah, big time. So the very start, way back before starting the first time, where was I at? I was sluggish, very low energy levels. I was maybe rolling out of bed 15 minutes before work, and just starting work. I was tunnel vision on purely work. There was no sort of physical fitness, and health didn't come into it. Diet was poor, maybe having 2 or 3 takeaways a week because it was easy. It was just easy because I was working so hard. It was easy, and basically just cruising with no sort of long-term goals. Was the way I would put it. Confidence was probably a bit low as well. So that was before joining the first time. Coming on board, gotten really good results, really good shape, and sort of the confidence was growing, and things were starting to fall into place, work and fitness wise. Everything I was sort of managing everything a lot better. So I wasn't tunnel vision anymore after coming on board the first time. It was sort of everything's falling into place, and I'm managing everything. Then basically coming on board second time was because starting Everest Accountants, it's a lot of work on top of another full-time job and kind of a social life in that. I wanted to be able to maximize that and do that all to the best I could possibly do. So that's why we reached out 7 months ago again and got on board again.
So the first time, would you say it was like getting your shit in order, and then the second time it was like, right, everything's happening, but how do I manage this without burning out?
Yeah, basically the second time was just maximizing output. Everything was there, just maximize every area and do it the best I could possibly do was the second time around.
How did you maximize your output? Like, what was the shift? What did you notice? Like, yeah, how did we do that?
Preparation. I say, going back to the 5 Ps from school. Do you remember the 5 Ps? The proper preparation prevents poor performance. So it was literally, as cringy as that is, it literally was time management. It's things like Sunday night. I would never have sat down on a Sunday night. It only takes half an hour, and planned your week where you knew on a Sunday night going into the next week, right? Monday, I'm going to be busy with meetings, so I need a meal on Monday night that's going to be quick, easy, efficient. Basically Tuesday, I'm not as busy with meetings, so I can do a proper meal that night. And then gym sessions, when am I fitting them in around the schedule? So anyone sort of in a finance sort of desk role will know that there's no end time to my day. Like, it could be 5 o'clock one day, it could be 8 o'clock the next. So I can't really sit here and go, right, I'm going to go to the gym on Tuesday night, because something could prop up on Tuesday, which means I don't get finished the other 9. So with my lifestyle, gymming and that side of it has to be before work in the mornings. So it was dialing myself in then. Yes, don't get me wrong. At times it's tough getting out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, but it's asking yourself why you're doing it. And basically it's hitting, it's just getting it done. So once you get up and you get in there, you get into the gym, it's fine. So yeah, basically that's sort of where we've excelled then, is getting that in before work, going to the gym, getting a good session in. And then I actually love, the best part of my day on those days is the walk straight after. I stick my earphones in and go for a walk around Lisburn. It takes me 45 minutes, and it's like where I think about the business, how can I do better, what do my clients need, is there any new reliefs there, or just life and what social occasions are coming up. And it's like when my thinking's at its best is on that walk. And then I come home back to the house for 8:30 in the morning, get a shower, and I'm ready to work. And I've basically done my full day's exercise before I've even started work. It just means at night, when you finally finish, you can sort of chill, and that's when you can have your social time, and you can go see friends and see family and go out on date nights, because you fitted it, maximized it all into one day. So that's sort of what we've really cemented second time round.
And like, you see, before the academy, you probably knew that you need to sit down and plan your days and like get in training early morning. But what was the sort of blocker, that sort of like, what were you telling yourself?
It's more so just the thought of like, do I want to do that? Do I want to actually go to the gym? Do I want to eat healthy? I just love my takeaways. It was like constantly we negative thoughts as to putting it off, ways of putting it off. It's like, no, but I like the way things are. I don't have any more time to do, that side of fitness side of things. And I think a lot of people, that's just normal to be like that. But I think it's the reality. If you really want something, you'll find the time for it. So if you want the change and you want to get healthier and fitter or stronger, leaner, whatever it is, if you really want that, you'll find the time. So but yes, at the start, you have those thoughts that put it off and put it off. Another big point I'd probably raise is at the start, before you join into something like coaching or into some sort of structure, you think to yourself, is this what I want? Like as if it's going to take over your life. But realistically, it's only when you start it, you're like, it's actually, it's supplementing, like it's enhancing your life. So, going and doing the sessions and getting the steps in and eating a wee bit healthier is making you physically and mentally healthier. So therefore it's allowing you to be better in work, be better with friends, be better with family, enjoy date nights more. So it's not, yes, it sounds like a bit of a task at the start, but once you get into place, it's actually just enhancing every area of your life, and it's realizing that.
Mm. So like you mentioned a great point, and a lot of the guys listening to this, it's not like a majority of the guys who come to the academy and listen to this podcast are very driven. Like it's in their nature. They're maybe driven in work, but maybe health and fitness isn't there and stuff. And you mentioned a point, I like the way things are. And that was like, you see, even before the academy, like you would be in better shape. If you went into a coffee shop, you'd be in better shape than 90% of other men. Like just, you were training for a few years, you were doing a few things and stuff, you were looking up online. But I suppose like, let's say you had to go back to that Dazza like 3 years ago or so, why would you not want to go back to that version of you?
So many reasons. Confidence is another one. I think back then, 3 years ago, I would have shied away from all of that, even things like this. So it's just it's like public speaking, stuff like that is not me in nature, not at all. So because it's an uncomfortable situation, because you don't like that, you would have shied away from it and you would have avoided those things. Whereas now it's like getting those uncomfortable situations because they're going to make you better as a person in so many areas. So 3 years ago, that's the way I was. I would have shied away, ducked and dived, and sort of just took the easy route because it was just easy rather than challenging myself. And, that's a big, big thing I've realized the last couple of years.
I'm like, one thing I wanted to get across today to the guys is like that aspect around your standards, because when you do something, you do it well. Like you're to get like that like you've got a dream client when they're writing down, I'm going to hit this next week, I'm going to do this next week, or they message you like, Ben, this is my social schedule for the rest of the month, and you're like, oh okay, right, he wants this, like all these details. It's not just, oh, I'm going to cut corners, I'll think about it. He's not curious, he's committed, he wants to make sure there's no corners missed. So like, when did you notice, like, how did you develop that sort of standard for yourself? Because again, back to the Dazza I first seen years ago, it was crisps, it was I'll go for a week or two and then I'll stop. It was everything. So where did this mindset come from? How did you cultivate it where you just accept only but the best?
Yeah, like I feel like a sort of one that I sort of more so like I don't get the half arsing or half doing something, because yes, short term people might do that because it's going to save time. Yeah, I might save time short term, but long term, someone's going to say to you, well, why'd you do it like that? Why are you cutting corners? So it's that perception of, yes, it's switching mindset towards the long term thinking of, do it right first time round because it's going to benefit you long term. What is it? That's thing's always stuck with me as well. Is it like the tiny gains? That basically if you can be 1% better every day for a year, you're 37 times better as a person. Now, taking the miles out of it, it's basically saying if you can maximize and do your best every day, at the end of the year, you're going to be a hell of a lot better for it. And I've always sort of used that as like, just put everything into it. Another thing I think, and it's not that I care what people think as such, but it's a perception. What perception do you want people to have of you? Like, do you want people to have the perception of, I don't want to speak there, I don't want to ask Aaron to do that, or I don't want to ask for Aaron's help because he's going to half-arse it and I'm going to have to fix it? Or do you want people to think, do you know what, I'm going to see if Aaron can help me out here because he'll do a good job. He might be busy, he might not have the time, but I'm going to ask him because I know he'll give 100%. So it's that perception as well as to what you want people to think of you.
Especially in your role, like people
big time.
handing over their businesses to you and how they run. Like, not that it matters what body fat percentage you are, but if you know, right, this guy's punctual, this guy's on time, this guy has high standard, he follows through in his word. Like, I'm sure getting up, smashing that session made you 10 times more certain in your day-to-day life than how you communicated, how you operated.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's even that sense of achievement. Do you know when you've actually 100% smashed something and you know you have and you've bossed it, and you just have that sense of, I've just done really well there. And so that's why I've sort of always just felt, give everything your all. It's actually, I have this weird thing when I go to the gym and do a session where the Apple Watch, where it tracks your calories and all that, I'm like, every 10 minutes I'm in the gym, I have to have burnt 100 calories. And that's an intense session. That means
That's a
it's
good rate.
intense.
500.
Yeah.
We've never talked about this, but 500 calories is. So sometimes, again, like coaches, I've just done this for years. So there's little small things that you can just sort of pick out when someone's slightly not getting there, because I want them to get the fucking result. So it's like without telling them you're not training hard enough, I just say, put your Apple Watch on, tell me the calories after, and then you let them go and do it. And it's like, if you know it's all, sometimes you get, and it's good because you see, right, I think this person, because from my side, like I need them to go and train hard, and the other person comes back with 300 calories. You're like, what are you doing? Are you going for a dilly dally or whatever?
Yeah.
So 500 calories, and like that's my sort of
Intense
standard
session.
where you need to be at. If you're hitting 600, happy days.
Yeah. So that's a game I have, and I'm halfway through my session. I'll look at it and go like, how am I doing? And then obviously, if you know you maybe took 2 minutes extra on your phone or something, then the next half of the session you proper go for it, because you need to get that up. So yeah, that's a wee game I play just to make sure that the sessions are intense.
And you see, like to have that level of focus, especially early morning, and especially like after a weekend where you maybe drinking or you're away in Manchester or whatever. Like, what do you do when you miss the gym in the morning, or what do you do when like things go all over the place? Because throughout these periods, there has been times where I've been here and I've had to like almost, I like to describe it as like I'm the bumper rally on a podium, where I'm just like, right, back in, we're not going off. Like, how do you get back on track? What do you tell yourself? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. Like, it happens to everyone. You're gonna miss a session. You're gonna wake up one morning and you're gonna be like, I can't today, and that's fine. That's completely normal. But it's not. It's making sure the wheels don't fall off the wagon. Basically, it's making sure, right? Okay, that happens, but get back on the horse again. Like literally the next day or the day after, make sure you get the steps. And even that day you don't go to the gym, get out for a walk with the dog. Just do something productive. And it's asking yourself, why am I doing this? Why? It's asking why. Have you got a long-term goal, like a wedding around the corner, or a holiday that you're looking at? If you have that goal that you're chasing, I think it makes it a lot easier to ask yourself why, and therefore make sure that yes, today hasn't went well, but tomorrow's gonna be better.
And I think I remember you messaged me after it, and it was one of the trainings where I talk about the all or nothing, and it was if one tire goes bust, you don't cut all the other tires and then fucking put the whole car on fire.
Yeah, that's fantastic, that one. Yeah.
So it's just like you said, don't. The reason why I came to mind is because you said about don't let the wheels fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
So no, I think that's great. And one thing I've noticed, Dazza, is like, and especially the first time compared to the second time, as guys, we have all majority of guys here have played sport or have like been in shape before, and your nature is to go right up to gear 5, try to do absolutely everything. But you actually said to me, look, I only feel like I can do 3 times, or I only feel like I can do 4 times. And then we added bonuses, and the bonus is where you get that extra bit. So like I think that's been something that's been down to your success this time is like you've been a lot more strategic and actually realistic with what you can.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that actually a lot more people need. Like it's not more that you do, it's doing less but consistent and to the best quality.
Yeah, well, that's it. As I said, people have busy lives, and that's probably another point that puts people off reaching out to the likes, because they're like, "God, I can't fit 5 sessions in a week." But no one's saying you have to. It's to fit around your schedule, something that suits your lifestyle. As I say, it's not meant to take over life. It's meant to make your life better. So if you can only get 3 in a week, get 3 in a week, but make sure they're really intense sessions. They're good sessions. You'll make good progress off that. So yeah, because life is just so busy with me, I think we started with 4. We have 4, and it was getting the early mornings in, getting one at the weekends, and then because I was getting to the weekends, I'd sort of bossed Monday to Friday. It was like, right, well, I could do it. I could get a wee bonus one in here. So be realistic, but then if you can go that bit further, do it.
And like how did you, because you were out every single weekend, so you were, how did you not go off the rails at the weekends? Like you still enjoyed yourself, but how did you like keep it sensible to some degree at times?
Yeah. So I sort of looked at it as a week as two separate weeks in a way, because I said Monday to Friday we're going to absolutely boss it. We're going to, grind head down, work, gym, fitness, steps, all of it, diet. We're going to completely smash it Monday to Friday, and then let the herd out the weekend. And that doesn't mean completely rip the piss out of it. I mean, like, go out with the lads, have a few beers, watch the football, but get up on Sunday and go for a walk, or take it a bit easier, or don't. It's like when you go out for a night out, and at the end of the night you get a kebab, and then you wake up the next day and you order Domino's. It's like knowing that you can go out with the guys, have a few drinks, enjoy yourself, but then wake up the next day, get up and go for a walk, and get plenty of water the next day. So it's I love takeaway. I love Chinese. So every week I'll have a Chinese, and it's like no one you can sort of bank Monday to Friday. You can be good that you can bank that couple of 100 calories a day. That whenever you get to your weekend, have your Chinese, and don't feel one bit guilty about it, because you've earned it, because you've done so well Monday to Friday. It's the same with going out for a few beers with your friends the weekend. You've done so well Monday to Friday that you've earned it. So as long as you don't rip the piss out of it and it continues, it's Saturday and Sunday, that's when it becomes an issue.
What was like a common thought when you felt like ripping the piss out of it? When you're out with the old boys, they're having 10 plus drinks, you're having 3 to 4. Like, how did you how did you not get carried away? What would you told
Again,
yourself?
it's probably looking towards the goals and objectives, things you have in place, why you're doing what you're doing. If you have nothing, if you've no purpose as to why you're doing this in your head, then you're not, to me, it's not sustainable. So I have to have that goal, that's something that I'm chasing, that I can go, right, have 3 or 4. And you know what? I could even, if I really wanted another couple, I could have a couple of whiskeys and Coke Zeros, because it's 3 times better than the beer, calorie wise. So it's finding those changes that can still allow you to do that.
I also think when you wake up on Monday morning, and you've got split squats. Saturday night, you
Yeah,
want
it's
to go.
disgusting. The disgusting, worst exercise ever. That. Yeah.
I'll not lie, I've done strategic things over the years, because then it's you don't even need to say anything, and the person, oh, this is tough. Maybe I shouldn't drink. Maybe I shouldn't
Yeah.
drink. Put that strategically in the Monday morning, and then
Yeah.
okay.
Treats people off. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing as well, I want to sort of chat on is like, right, so you would have been out and you would have like not overdone it. Was there any points where you got a bit of social pressure from other people where like, oh, go on, do this, or yeah.
Um, Not really. Like I think it all depends on what who your friends are, and what a lot of them are. I have friends, thankfully, that are pretty driven too, and a couple of them actually went to yourself as well. And I think they understand that, like, the fact I'm even I'm there and I'm enjoying it just as much as everyone else. It's not that peer pressure. Oh, I've had 10 and you've only had 5. Why are you being like that? It's yeah, not really. As long as you can go and you can have a laugh, and you can switch it for whiskey, beers for whiskey,
Would
not
you
too
say
bad.
would you say in fact they've actually been inspired because you've been having
Yeah, I think so, because obviously it's like anything, when you see results happening in any sort of area, whether it's fitness or work or anything like that, you look at it and go, here, could I get involved in that? Could I do? Do I want to do that? If it's only going to take 3 or 4 months of hard work, maybe I should do that. So I think so, and maybe that's why they haven't been as harsh on me. And maybe a couple of them have come on board after and stuff. So yeah, I think that could be part of it as well.
and you mentioned throughout you've got a purpose. That's what's kept you. Like when did you find or develop that purpose and what is that purpose?
I just always, I am one of these people, and so I always like something to look forward to. There always has to be something there. So whether it's the wedding there was in July, so this time I come on board and we were just, let's smash this for the wedding, and that was my goal in my head. The purpose was, let's get the best shape we possibly can for this wedding. Um. And like now, for example, I'm like, right, I need to book a holiday next year, because I need to have that something to chase, to actually keep it at this level, because this is around the corner. And I think if you've got that purpose, that's always something there. I just think, me personally, it makes it that so much easier to follow and chase, because you've got an end goal.
Hmm. And was there a moment where you were like a bit goalless and you were like, right, fuck this, I'm gonna start setting goals?
Yeah, big time. Like as I say, way back to start, even before coming on, there was nothing. It was just sort of, it was monotonous. Every day was get up, 15, roll out of bed, 15 minutes before work, do work, tunnel vision work, and end of the day, you're drained from work, and then you just go to bed, do the same thing again, Monday to Friday. Yes, and then you go out and you'd overdo it at the weekends with friends because you didn't have that sort of goal or purpose as the right, I'm gonna excel my life in every area here. It was just I'm just gonna do what I want. I'm gonna go out and go maybe drink too much the weekend with mates, have a laugh, and then I'm gonna work hard Monday to Friday. So I would say then I didn't have much goals, nothing really to push myself or drive myself on.
How would you say it's been being in the academy with other like-minded guys that are extremely driven towards goals?
Night and day. See, and even the events when we come over, you come over to Belfast and we hire at a gym and we'll have those events and get all the guys together and stuff. It's hearing their stories and their drive and what gets them out of bed in the morning and pushes them on is inspiring in a way. Just hearing different people's stories, different people struggling with different things, but are still absolutely smashing it and finding this as a release to get round the things they're struggling with is actually like the things they could be struggling with could be mental health, could be completely outside of fitness, but the fitness side, this here the whole plan is what's getting them through and pushing them on and making their life easier. So it's great hearing everyone else's stories and even the social media chats now where everyone's pushing each other on and putting their oh, I've done this week. It's good to see other people's wins. It pushes you on. I think if you see other people's wins, it makes you want to go and get more wins.
I love that. And like when you came on board, like you, as I said, you were training a lot. What is like most guys, they come initially, right? They want to get in amazing shape. That's one of their goals. Then we look at like their energy, then we look at other aspects and stuff. But what did you notice differently when you training by yourself versus like training with a professional? What was different, like in your workouts, your body, like the results? What was the yeah?
Yeah, straight away, everything come to head was that sort of lad culture, and I was like that 100% of like what weights you're lifting rather than form. So you're lifting crazy weights, your form was horrific. You probably had people like looking and being like, "What are you doing?" Because the form is terrible. But it was like in your head, you're like, "I need to lift this weight." But then coming to yourself, and it's like the weight is not. It's more for. It's 100% more form than weight. You need to get the form right, and you'll get the most benefit out of good technique and good form with weights that are maybe 5, 6, 7 kilograms less. So yeah, that was a big point. It's just I was completely looking at it the wrong way. And I was maybe doing 3 or 4 terrible reps, getting nothing out of it, than doing maybe a lower weight and doing 8 reps of good quality, and feeling burnt out after it.
100%. And it's like it's not what you lift, it's how you lift it.
Yeah, 100% is. So yeah, that was a big thing.
And one of the things that I remember you saying was about energy, like you wanted more energy to get and maximize output. How do you feel like where would you if you just sort of say, right, my energy before was like a X out of 10, where would it be now on a consistent basis? And
Mhm.
how did you sort of change it?
I would say before that was something I was really struggling with before. I said maybe a 2 before, and it could be an 8, 9 now. Purely, and it's I don't know the science behind it or why it is, or maybe this is just me. But like if I get up in the morning at 6 and be at the gym for half 6 and do that hour session and go for a walk and then come back for half 8 to start work at 9, I feel almost buzzing or something like full of energy for the day, even though I've got up and done so much. Rather than waking up at half 8 or quarter to 9 and turn the laptop on and start working, I feel 10 times better and more energetic doing that than rolling out of bed 15 minutes before work. And I don't get the logic in that because I've done more, but it's 100% makes me feel so much more energized and I have a better day all round, socially, business, meetings go a lot better when I do that than when I just roll out of bed 15 minutes before work.
Did you find it difficult to get into that routine?
Big time, because no one like is say it's cold, it's wet, it's Northern Ireland. No one wants to roll out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning in the cold and go to the gym. So it's at the start, yes, but once you start to see the progress you're making, and basically feel the way you feel when you leave the gym at 7:30 in the morning and you go for your dander, go for a walk with the headphones in and come back to do your day, and you feel so much better for it, so much fresher, that then I think because I got that feeling, I was able to then consistently do it. And still consistently do it. But I feel at the start it's a no-brainer that it's just tough, and the alarm clock was turned off a couple of times, and it did snooze. I did go back to bed, but it's getting there. Once you get there, it's fine.
I think the one thing I want to help everyone sort of extract from what Aaron's done is like, just think about how you would feel. Like, no matter if it's getting up early in the morning, no matter if it's pushing in the session, or if it's like controlling cravings, or setting boundaries, if you think in that moment how you're going to feel by doing that activity, that's what drives you forward. Because I know there's points where Aaron's not motivated, I know there's points where I'm not motivated, but it's just like, right, how will I feel? And just using that as a driver to get you moving forward. The second thing as well is like, I know it pissed Aaron off when he didn't tick a box, where like his session was missed, or something didn't happen or whatever. I remember there was times where I had to sort of like, chill, it's okay, like, look at the grand scheme of things. So it's like, as well, there needs to be, you can get pulled by ambition and pleasure and good things, the feeling, but then you also do need that sort of fear of like, right, I can't, this is going to annoy me, this is going to frustrate me, I need to tick the box, I need that accountability. And in a lot of cases, when you're trying to like change, I don't want to let someone down, because a lot of the time, to get into a position where you're like Aaron and you're training and you look great and it's second nature, you kind of can't rely on your own belief, and you have to get to a point where you borrow someone else's sort of belief for you and their commitment for you, where you're like, you know what, I can't look stupid in front of Ben, I can't look stupid in front of the other. Not that you'll ever look stupid, I want to rephrase that, but I can't not do my best, I can't not do my effort. And there's times where I do that, I still do that. There's moments where it's like, I don't want to let my coach down, I said I'm going to do something, I have to follow through.
Yeah, big time.
I just want to sort of highlight that so that everyone can take that. So last question I have, I've got two questions for you, Aaron. From going through the academy, right? What do you feel more men need? Like, you've been through this whole experience, you're doing really well in your life at the minute, with career, life, body. What do you think more men need?
100% accountability. Whether that be get a coach on board, put that structure into your life that's not currently there to allow you to perform better in all aspects, or whether it's a friend. You want to, if you've got a friend that goes to the gym at the same time, bounce off each other, make sure you're there, make sure you've got that friend sort of texting you, being like, right, where are you? Why are you not here? If you've got that accountability from someone, it's going to help you get there, and it's going to help you get stuff done 100%. So accountability is huge. Goals and objectives, I've said that a couple of times here, just having something in place to watch the end goal. Why are you doing this? If you've got that mindset of, right, I'm doing this because I have my wedding in 6 months, or I'm going on holidays in 4 months, I want to look great at the beach, you've got that then to work towards, and that's going to drive you to get up and get things done as well, because you've got that purpose. Go ahead. What's right?
How often do you think about your goals?
All the time. Like, there's always a goal there, and if there's not something there, I put something in place pretty quickly. So it's something I reevaluate and look at all the time. The wedding was obviously the goal of this year, July, and then we're just back from the honeymoon there. So the goal now is, we've said we've got the Airbnb property there that we've started a service accommodation company. So it's now getting that rolled out and getting it on the market for the 1st of December. And then it's looking goals early next year to then push myself on further.
So every day you're thinking about it?
Every day. There's something every day. There's something. It doesn't have to be fitness related. It can be any aspect of life that there's something there, and I go, right, I need to hit that. I need to do that. I need to make sure that's done right. So it's constantly monitoring that on a weekly basis. Probably is more realistic.
Do you ever get overwhelmed by your goals?
Sometimes it's because not everything's gonna go the way you want. That's life. Yes, you can absolutely bust your balls and put loads of work in, but not everything is going to go the way, and that's when it gets tough and it gets overwhelming, frustrating. But it's then rejigging them basically to make them like completely reachable. So yeah, and then I think another big point is discipline and realization, where it's nothing good in life comes easy. So it's like, you have to put the work in to get the output. So it's that realization that you can't go on the piss 2 nights a week, but still make good progress. So it's being open to that, and discipline that you can still go out and enjoy yourself, yes, but make sure the next day you do the right things. So there are 3 big points I would say.
What if you had to get the same level of results that you got 10 years, like in the last 10 years from when I first met you in Inst, like we're coming up 10 years reunion here at Christmas. Like if you had to get that level of results in half the amount of time in body, life, career, how would you do it?
Um, I would. I haven't ran. I used to do long distance running when I was 10 to 14. I haven't ran. I hate the thought of it now, but I would probably do a couple of 10Ks a week. Try to squeeze them in. Maybe switch the beer for whiskey and Coke Zero. That would be another good one. And then step counts big. There's days where I would have slacked the step count because I would have looked out the window and said it's cold and it's miserable. Whereas get to the gym, get in the treadmill, stick your earphones in. So making sure you hit that step count, whether it's 10,000 a day or 80,000 a week, just make sure you hit it.
Do you think there would be anything mentally that you would have done, any lessons, anything that you would have, because they're quite tactical. The last 10 years, you had to fit into 5 years. What would it be?
Tackle every uncomfortable situation. Don't put things off because it's uncomfortable or it's a challenge. Go for it because it's a challenge or uncomfortable. Because if it's those areas or those things in life that are gonna make you so much better as a person so much quicker. So it's rather than ducking the head and putting the head down because you don't want to do something, go at it head first, and there's a good chance you'll come out a lot better because of it.
Absolutely class. Guys, there's been so much lessons, insights, and from my side, Dazza, it's been fucking class to see you progress and see you just, yeah, like honestly, there are not many guys operating like you do. And from my side, it's been a pleasure. So it has. For all the listeners, guys, go and check out Dazza's work if you're a small business owner. So where can the guys find you?
You can find us on social media, so Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also our website, which is www.everest-accountants.com. And our website's brilliant, so it is. There's loads of useful stuff on there.
Awesome. And if this has inspired you, or if there's something that you've learned, or you just have been enjoying the podcast, guys, feel free, reach out every single day when I'm out my little walks. I answer my inbox, me personally. It's not someone from the Philippines or from the other side of the world. So just honestly, if there's any questions or anything's touched you, shoot me a little message. Please do share it. Please do leave reviews. It does help. It lets us get the word out there. It lets algorithms and things like that show our stuff to more people. And I hope that this has inspired you to go and take action and go to the next level in your life.